So my name is Tyree Barnett. I work with the Career and Employment Service here at Macquarie University. I've been at Macquarie University now for 8 years, half of it spent with the Career and Employment Service. I think the best part about postgraduate study is the opportunity to specialize, as well as to further explore an interest, a curiosity, or a potential career outcome from your undergraduate degree. I think it also gives students more time to get work experience and to get additional placements or even research experience, and to explore maybe other facets or other maybe niche areas within their industry. And I think also if going into the postgraduate degree with that mindset, the student is much more employable, much more attractive to industry once they finished. And we normally advise students to go in with that mindset, knowing how you want to apply the postgraduate degree and what your career goal is. And that way it's even more valuable to the employer that you know what you want to do, and you also know what your knowledge from your degree can apply to. So I think my top piece of advice there would be to engage with industry early on. Find out with whatever industry you want to go into, find out who or whom are the professional associations or membership bodies or networking bodies. Engage with them early. Oftentimes those membership bodies and associations have different tiered memberships, and the lower tier normally is free are the student tiers as well as the early career starter tiers. And that will give you access to their workshops, their networking events, their digital media, their list of employer members as well, because not only are students and professionals members, but also employment and companies are members as well. So it gives you a great list to network from, and then also engaging early with those associations, going to their meetings, going to conferences, having a LinkedIn profile and finding other people that are also part of that association. So just making sure that you delve as early as you can into your industry of choice. And oftentimes ourselves at the Career and Employment Service will have employers come to campus. For example, employers that may be recruiting within artificial intelligence, or employers, for example, from the Public Service Commission, who actually have been recruiting a lot of arts and humanities students, because one of their major projects is more human-centered design within their online sort of self-help resources and portals. And so also, I guess, as a second bit of advice there, knowing all the different ways you can apply your postgraduate degree, and also knowing that just because you study accounting or just because you study marketing or human resources does not solely define you to that area. And so it's also about the skills you've learned, the exposure you've gotten to industry, your industry knowledge, as well as your own abilities and your transferable skills that may appeal to other employers in adjacent or nearby markets or industries as well. So the best way that a postgraduate student can guarantee as much as they can control a positive career outcome is that they, again, invest early into their chosen career field or their chosen industry. And so, joining whichever association is aligned with your degree, whether it be marketing if you're studying marketing, or accounting, or the Australian Psychological Society if you're doing psychology, and starting early, getting to know also which organizations, companies, groups, etc., hire from within your industry, starting that network as well. Having a LinkedIn profile, even if it's just bare bones, it's just degree and past employment, that's a start, and it's not so much to be discovered on LinkedIn, which is why it's a good idea to have the profile initially. It's also to be able to network and find people who are also on LinkedIn that can help you. So hiring managers at different organizations or companies, or thought leaders within your particular industry, or different members of other professional bodies or accreditation bodies, and making those connections. And then, of course, at the same time, beefing up your LinkedIn profile as well, so that you have something to show them also. So just investing the same amount of time that you would invest into your postgraduate studies, into your career planning and career development, would be the best way to guarantee an outcome, a positive outcome. And also keep in mind that your colleagues and your classmates are going to form part of your network as well. So, keeping in touch, communicating, working with your academics and lecturers and professors they may still have ties to industry. They may, have a few connections or tips, maybe things to include in your resume or opportunities to go to do either research projects or internships or other work integrated learning opportunities. And so making sure that you're networking early and often, and also making sure that you're starting early with delving into your industry or industries of choice. So if you're someone that doesn't know much about the industry you're going into, or you're not as well versed on the industry itself that you're interested in, the first thing I would say to do is to find what people in the industry read. So aside from the professional association, there are also maybe industry journals or industry publications either put out within the professional association or independently of them. And so reading about current events and current trends and disruptions to that industry and changes of the industry, and also just the size of the industry in general. Other good websites to start with are, and they may not be as comprehensive, but they may lead you to another website as well. Joboutlook.gov.au is a government website with a lot of information on just general industries and also, I guess, projective information on industry size, on salaries, on gender makeup, gender balance, on future growth opportunities, on basic tasks and responsibilities, and also skills that are needed to gain entry into that industry. And so looking at websites like joboutlook.gov, also looking at the Australian jobs reports that are put out by the government and getting a feel of what direction industry is going in and what industry needs. And also I tell any student, no matter what you're interested in, is to read the news. Read the paper, watch the news, especially as it deals with your industry, and find out the same information. Current events, trends, size of industries, disruptions to the industry. Look at who the employers are as well. Just do a Google search and find out who employs within this area or who hires from this area. Look at those organizations' websites. Look at their job vacancies. Find out about I guess the lowest or entry level or mid-level sort of tier for that company, what sort of skills they're looking for, and kind of how you measure up both now and toward the end of your degree, and what areas, if any, there may be gaps, and how you want to address or work toward filling those gaps as well. So there are, for every industry, or for many industries, they'll have either a publication or a newsletter or a periodical or even a website, into disseminating information about that industry in terms of things like starting salaries or job vacancies or what have you. Oftentimes those may be attached to the professional organization or association to that industry. There's also another, I guess, lesser formalized tier of engagement, websites like Meetup Sydney that are designed for people that have similar interests, whether it be professional-based interests or hobbies. Oftentimes, those websites will have groups tied to certain areas, such as maybe digital marketing or psychology or creative writing or even business analytics. And so those different groups will be made up of professionals as well as employers that recruit those professionals. And oftentimes those groups are more casual but still beneficial setting to meet others that are within your same industry or studying your same degree, as ways to gain insight and information and also tips. And also just talking with your peers, finding out what other people are reading or where they're interning or where they're researching, talking with your academics and professors to see if they have any industry connections. Also seeing if your course itself, if it has any work integrated learning units or any post-grad internships or opportunities to do other co-curricular activities. And just tapping into as many options as you can that are local to you, that are sort of easy access. And then from there, branching out to other resources and opportunities as they reveal themselves. So for example, if you're studying engineering or IT, a best place to start in terms of looking locally will be student groups and associations that are active on campus, networking sessions or workshops or sort of meet and greets, as well as they may bring in industry, they may bring in other employer partners or organizations to talk about industry and to give information on how to be competitive, how to gain entry, internships or graduate programs. And you can also utilize, if you're studying medicine, for example, the resources here at the university with MPU Health, reaching out to the Macquarie University Hospital, looking for opportunities to volunteer, and also reaching out to the other health providers on campus within the sort of allied health stream and looking at opportunities to engage, volunteer, or just put your hand up for any opportunities to learn, alongside a professional as well. And if you're studying engineering, for example, you can also look at the opportunities that Macquarie University has for co-curricular activities within engineering. For example, the FIRST Robotics program, which is run every year, often enlists current Macquarie students to volunteer for that project. You can also look at exterior organizations such as Engineers Australia, which has a lot of ties to the university as well, looking at our networking opportunities that the organization has, or events they're running on campus or nearby, whether they be in person or virtual. And just again, starting locally to find opportunities to engage early on within your degree. So remember, when you come to Macquarie University to start your postgraduate studies, you have access to not only what's here on campus in terms of the academics, the resources, the co-curricular activities, you also have access to Macquarie Park itself, the Macquarie Park Innovation District, and all of the employers within. And so when you come to Macquarie, you'll find that it is a very collaborative environment, and everyone is here to help you to become the best graduate and future employee you can be.